Snatch back your brain, zombie. Snatch it back and hold it.
What's going on, low techs? It's me, Mr. E. To all my returning low techs, welcome back. Appreciate it. Don't get comfy though, we got another one to jump into. And to everybody coming here for the first time, I appreciate that you're here. I hope you like it. If you do, subscribe, like, hit the bell icon, leave a comment, join the discussion and everything else. And I would greatly appreciate it if you would consider joining the low tech community. Speaking of low tech community, for my current low techs, I've actually been considering, and I may have mentioned this before, but I'm actually considering it quite earnestly to set up a Discord so that we could get together and discuss things and stuff like that. Obviously moderated, it's not going to be the Wild West in there, but if it's something that you think would be fun and you'd want to get involved with, definitely leave it in the comments, and if enough people want it, we'll go for it. So I know everything's just getting started, but it never hurts to have something like that. So anyway, this particular MLM that we're looking at today, it's not a financial MLM like what I've covered the last two videos. I'm not done with those. There's a ton more that I'm going to be jumping into because for some reason right now they are just going crazy. And a lot of them, I don't know if any of you guys have subscribed to the newsletters from Behind MLM. That's the news outlet that I use most, or that I get a lot of my information from in regards to different companies, but it has been a crazy mess of different countries going after different MLMs. It's insane. I highly recommend just jumping on their homepage and looking at what's going forward. But anyway, back to what we got going on. So the MLM that I chose to tackle today is, this kind of came about because while I was researching stuff for another video that I'm doing in the future on how your faith makes you a target for MLMs, I came across this particular person who's hawking an MLM product, a wellness and essential oil, and she went out of her way to hide the logo in every single one of her reels on Instagram. And I mean, it did what it was supposed to do. It got me looking at her page and digging through and hunting down all the different things. I must have went through 20 videos on her page to try to figure out what the company was, because I'm like, well, okay, this is very clearly an MLM. She's very much wanting you to message her so she can try to hawk you a product, or more like hawk you a product and then tell you that you can have this great financial opportunity by selling this product with me. In other words, recruiting. And I was like, okay. So after about 20 videos, she slipped up once and her thumb moved a little bit and I saw an M in a circle and I was like, okay, I have enough. Google reverse image search, stuff like that. Boom, found it. So we're looking at a company today called Mfinity. And the reason it was kind of hard to find information on is because they're just getting started. Or are they? And if you remember my last two videos, a lot of companies like to turn around and say they're a startup or they're brand new or they're just getting their feet wet when they've rebranded. This is one of those companies. Behind MLM has an amazing article about them and who they were initially, who bought them, who they were then, and then ultimately who they are now. So yeah, we're going to jump into that article here in a minute. This isn't going to be as long or as a comprehensive dive as my last few videos, mainly because there just isn't a whole lot of information about them, but I do have their compensation plan. There is no income disclosure statement because they've rebranded and now they're new, so I can't really go through that, but we're going to look at prices for some of the products, and you tell me after you see the prices for some of these products if this is something you'd even ever consider. Me personally, no, absolutely not. Even if I was not even interested in the MLM portion of it and I was just like, well, hey, I like essential oils, let's try this out. No, I'll go to Amazon. Anyway, yeah, Mfinity, let's go ahead and jack in and let's get it started, huh? Here we are, Mfinity's homepage right there. Their landing page, it's fancy, but right off the gate, you see rows of crops that don't look like corn or any other kind of like food crop. Maybe grapes. I haven't really seen a grapevine that close, but I think that would be a little too much. But anyway, that is their field to which they grow their essential oils. Now, these people utilize a very specific oil. Muscadine is the actual oil, and I had to look up how to pronounce that because it didn't make any sense to me. I was trying to produce it, so I had to look it up. Muscadine, and in case you're curious, there you go. So yeah. Oh no, I'm lost. There we go. Just kidding. So what they are is a health and wellness, obviously. They are, it says Mfinity Global is your premier source for natural health, robust wellness, and rewarding lifestyle you can enjoy for generations. Yeah, okay. They got their products here. It's all this kind of stuff. Pills, supplements, things of that nature. Of course, like any other MLM, these supplements are apparently the best things in the world. And, you know, you can only get them here because, you know, we're the experts on it, or whatever you want to say. I mean, if you throw a rock on Instagram with some of these MLMs, you'll hear so many different ways to where you have to only get them from this company. So anyway, they say that our products help families create the foundation for long-lasting core health. Our programs provide support to transform lives, and our business plan creates an accelerated path to financial security. They're referring to the MLM portion when they say that. Because, oh yeah, no, you could sell just the product, sure, but come on. It's an MLM. So it's all about recruiting. The fountain of youth has been found in the muscadine. Come on, man. Like, okay, sure. Mfinity Oil. This is their flagship. This is the one that they kept showing on the Instagram. And I may put that Instagram video up. I'm kind of not sure if I want to go directly at people on Instagram just yet. I may wait a little bit, but if you guys want to see it, I'll post a short or something on and react to it. But it says the world's original source for pure muscadine seed oil, a potent source of antioxidants, vitamins, resveratrol. I'm not sure what that word is. You know what? Let's look it up. Resveratrol. There we go. Let's see what it has to say, huh? Oh my gosh, resveratrol. Of course, I'm putting way too much emphasis on there. And okay. Mfinity Oil, the world's original source. Yeah, resveratrol and omegas. Now, omegas, that's in every supplement. So, Mfinity is one of the very few sources of natural, the ultra rare members of the vitamin E family of health boosting oils. Now, I'm always cautious when people try to tote I almost said Resident Evil because it's vitamin E. Anyway, when people push for vitamin E and high doses of vitamin E, just because of the vitamin E that was added to vape and stuff like that, and the unsanctioned juices and stuff that people were getting kind of messed up on. So I'm a little hesitant about that. I'm not a health professional, so I don't want to just start power loading this stuff. I don't know if it's going to have any adverse effects, but anyway, so they do skincare, fat blocker, interrupt your body's ability to create and store fat, core health, infinite benefits. Enjoy the infinite benefits from this remarkable oil. That's infinite. Get it? Infinite. Give your family a vibrant, long-lasting health. The gift of vibrant. My goodness, my reading today is pretty terrible. Anyway. Yeah, so let me just show you the product prices, right? Let's go to the products. This is the all product. Now, right out the gate, you see Mfinity Timeless Box at $99.95. And if you look, there's 3 things in that thing. So $99.95 for 3 products. Right next to it is the core pack. 3 bottles of supplements and 1 bottle of muscadine oil. $205.85. I wish I could say that's the highest. $180 for that, $302 for that, $231 for fat loss and fitness pack, $386, $476 for this, 1 bottle of the oil, $64.30. 1 bottle. Let's look at that. 2 ounce. So you're getting a 2-ounce bottle of muscadine seed oil for $64.30. Stuff's insane. $45 for that, $64 for that, detox, drive. What do we have here? Oh, Then we have the extract, 386. I just want you to look at this. Mfinity muscadine seed oil, 2-ounce bottles, 12-pack, $617.70. $617.70 for 12 bottles of that. Now, how long do you think 2-ounce bottles are going to last you? Yeah, and it's on and on and on. $499 for, what is that, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 items. I mean, I wish I could say that this is, specific to this particular company, but it's not. All these companies that have the health and wellness, they always produce these ridiculous product prices. Let's take a look here at the Behind MLM article that I kind of teased in the beginning of this video. So apparently Bulla Vita Yuva partnership collapses, Mfinity Global reboot, right? So let's just kind of go through this a little bit so you can kind of see, because remember I told you this particular company has rebranded multiple times. So it's not a brand new company. They just happen to be starting over. So it says, what's left of Wakaya Perfection is gearing up to relaunch under its third company name, Mfinity Global. I'm going to mess that up. I apologize. I'm going to keep messing that up. Mfinity Global's launch follows Wakaya Perfection's collapsing and being sold to Liquor. Is it Liquor? I'm going to say Liquor Enterprises. The Liquor acquisition happened in late 2019 and saw Wakaya Perfection rebranded as Bulla Vita. Under Liquor Enterprises, nothing much happened with Bulla Vita. Then in April 2021, it says Bulla Vita entered into a partnership with Yuva. Now, 2 months later, Bulla Vita has cut ties with Yuva. What's left of the company will now relaunch as Mfinity Global. That is, now we're on the third iteration of this particular MLM. A visit to Bulla Vita's website domain reveals a 9-day countdown timer for Mfinity. Now, this, I must say, this was done June 9th, 2021. And that's why, if you go there now, I think it takes you to what we saw, right? So obviously, you're not going to see this. So, of course, they're gearing up for something big. It says no company information is provided, including what caused the split from Yuva, who will be running Mfinity Global, and who's funding the company. For that information, we turn to a recent Mfinity Global webinar. I don't have an exact date for the webinar, but I believe it was held on Zoom earlier this week. Now, I would like to get a hold of that. I think it'd be fun, but yeah, it says, and it looks like it's just a simple, hey, no, it's okay, we're fine. But Vaughn, let's see, hosting Mfinity webinar was Andre Vaughn. Vaughn served prison time for tax fraud in 2019. So that's the person leading their setup, which, okay. Serving time doesn't mean that you're a bad person unless you went in there for a very heinous reason. You can pay your debt to society, come out and be just as fine, and be better, right? So I don't always kind of hold that against them. But when you're running a company like this and you get tossed into prison for tax fraud, and you're the head of a massive company, it's pretty sketch, right? Now, obviously, most of the major financial companies have had some sort of slap on the wrist for some form of financial fraud. But I mean, we won't go into that. It says, after serving his sentence, apparently Vaughn still holds a leadership position within the company. So he got busted while being the leader of the company. Okay. That's sketch. Vaughn introduced Wakaya Perfection co-founder Todd Smith, who referenced in an earlier webinar featuring Bill Anderoli, dishes on why the Yuva deal fell apart. Now, we're going to read this little bit here, and then we're going to move on back to the actual company and the compensation plan, because I'm not just going to sit and read the article. I'll link this article in the description and check it out, do the dive if you want to check it out. It says, the family is still together. You saw the faces and heard the voices, the folks you know and love, and you know that we are taking Mfinity to the world. One of the other things you'll know is that we've enhanced the compensation with a new program that's going to put more money in our pockets. Now, they said in our pockets. Now, they mean in everybody, the people that are working with the company, but come on. We know whose pockets they're really lining. says, you know that the reason the transition was because we thought everyone was going to make more money, and instead we found out everyone made less. Ooh. And when I say everyone except the people at the top, and that's just not acceptable. So, guy runs an MLM where the people at the top make all the money, and yet he doesn't like the fact that the MLM that he owned paid everybody at the top. I don't know. Even though we tried to make changes, they, Uvia, weren't willing to make those changes, and so then we got to do what's best for the family. Smith dismisses the failed Uvia venture as a few weeks detour. We've apologized for that. I don't want to go back to that because we're all thinking forward now. Kind of makes you want to look into that, doesn't it? When they say we're not thinking about it, we're ignoring that, we're just pushing forward. Yeah, I'd be curious to know more details about it. And I'm sure further on in here they have. It says the earlier webinar featured Bill, and in the webinar, Androli confirms the huge compensation plan differences between Bulavita and Yuva. Despite Yuva being an established MLM company with a long-standing compensation plan, Androli strangely puts forth that no one could anticipate the compensation differences. Really? No one could anticipate the compensation differences? I feel like anybody who looks at these guys with a critical eye could have seen the differences or anticipated the differences. The finer details of Yuva's partnership with Bulavita were never made clear. Ditto the breaking of that partnership and what it meant legally to each of the parties. The only information Androli discloses is that, so even with the best of intentions on both sides with Uvia and Bulavita to make this work, we found that the differences in the compensation were just too great. We have decided together, in fairness to all of our Bulavita ambassadors, independent consultants, is to amicably separate ourselves as the two companies, Yuva and Bulavita. Both companies, just so all of you know, we wish each other well and will remain friends. Yeah. So needless to say, one MLM company gets bought out by another MLM company, doesn't like the fact that their company has differences in compensation, and probably the people that moved over from Bulavita to Yuva didn't like the fact that they weren't making the same money they were making at Bulavita. So now suddenly, oh no, and then, yeah, split. Now we have Mfinity with ridiculous muscadine oil prices and various other product prices. So yeah, if you want to check it out, there's a whole bit on here. That's pretty much the whole article. So I wasn't going to read the whole article, but it looks like I kind of did. So anyway, highly recommend checking it out. Check out all this other stuff over here. These guys are crazy with this stuff. Before we look at the compensation plan, let's look at the starter packs, right? And let's see what starter packs are offered to become a ambassador, a brand ambassador. So right out of the gate, we got the Timeless Box, which we saw before at $99. So apparently they turned that into a starter kit. Yeah, so then you can get that, but there's also the Brand Ambassador Welcome and Web Tools Kit for $49.95, which I'm assuming you're going to have to purchase. And then they have Basic Core Starter Pack at $299, Mfinity Muscadine Pack, Basic Pack at $299.95. You've got the Basic Fat Loss Starter Pack. You've got, was that $299.95, $499.95 for the Super, and the Mfinity Muscadine Super Starter Pack at $499.95. Ultimate Starter Pack, $899.95, but it gives you 700 qualifying volume. Wow. That is so insane at how much this stuff costs. If you were looking to jump into this company and make some money because times are tight and you're kind of living paycheck to paycheck and you're desperately trying to figure anything out to try to make a little extra money, this is not for you. This is insane with this. Let's jump over to the compensation plan to get into that more thoroughly here. Let me see if I can make this a little bigger for you without actually sacrificing. Okay, yeah. So here we are. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 ranks. And these are your qualifications. We'll go over the qualifications pretty quickly here. So at first, your IBA, right? That is probably your independent contractor. That is your starting. I'm just selling product. You have to then, in order to be an active or considered active and earn commission, you have to make at least 80 customer qualifying volume, right? Now, it does specify here that level 0 QV personal plus customer auto ship not mandatory. So they don't have to have an auto ship, which you don't see that on any one of the other ones. So I'm assuming auto ship is mandatory for everything else that's here. So the next one underneath is group qualifying volume, and that is CQV at all levels, max 60% in one leg. So when it tells you have to have 80 or you have to have 250 qualifying volume, that can't all be in one leg. It has to be split between your two different legs, right? It also requires one active personally enrolled customer and one active personally enrolled IBA. Active IBA legs 1. So this one, you only have to have one active leg, which kind of is interesting if you think about it, because they're just telling you that in order to get the qualifying for the customer, you can only get 60% in one leg. So the qualifying for these can't just be in one leg, but if they're only requiring one leg, then how does that work? A little iffy on that here. And that's coral, so it's your first rank, basic coral. Then you got jade, which is a jump from 80 to 100, from 250 to 1,000, which is quite a decent leap. You go from requiring one active IBA and customer to two active IBA and customers with two legs. Now you can start focusing more on not having 60% in one leg. Then from there, you also get a bonus here. It looks like you get a rank advancement. So in your first 90 days, you get 25 if you hit coral. If you push past coral and get jade, you get 75. If you push past jade and get sapphire, you get 200, right? That's nothing new. But you're jumping up from 1,000 to 2,500. So you have a 1,500 requirement leap to become sapphire. Looks like your customer qualifying volume stays the same. Two active stays the same, and two active legs. Then from jade to from sapphire to ruby, then you're jumping from 2,500 to 7,500. So then you're jumping 5,000 required group qualifying volume while all having two active personally enrolled customers, personally enrolled IBAs with two active legs. So right there, for you to rank up, you are pushing your team hard, right? Now, is it impossible to jump 5,000 points? No, it's not impossible. I mean, it's definitely going to be hard to do, but this here is the equalizer right here. I shouldn't say the equalizer. This one here is the dream killer, in my opinion. So when you jump from sapphire to ruby, it requires 150 customer qualifying volume. That climb is not that steep, right? This to this is kind of steep, but not as steep as jumping from ruby to emerald, where you are now required 25,000 group qualifying volume while still having just two actively enrolled customers and two actively enrolled IBAs, but you have to have 5 legs. So now you've got a proper team set up, right? A proper downline, and you can start really raking in that manipulated money. That's right, I said manipulated money. I'm taking a jab at it. So without looking at an income disclosure statement, because as I said before, it doesn't exist, at least not yet. Now we are into 2022. I would be curious to know if they're putting forth a income disclosure statement and when they're actually going to do it. I'm guessing it's probably not going to be here soon because, well, they got to tally everything. So we'll keep back. And when they finally do put one up, we'll look at it and we'll see what we can figure out. We'll do a short on it. How about that? So then that goes from emerald to diamond. That jumps up from 25,000 to 75,000. So 50,000 jump, which is the same here. And then from 75,000 into blue diamond, you need 200,000 group qualifying volume. And then from 200,000 to 500,000, all while having just 2 active personally enrolled customers, 2 active personally enrolled IBAs, and 5 active legs. Now, obviously there is a bonus every time you rank up, right? But these are one time. And that just, without looking at this, you can see that the majority of the people are going to be right here in these first 4, right here. And you might have some that jump up here, but this is where you're probably going to start seeing your massive percentage difference from the average earned per year in this company. And it's going to be even more of a hit going from Ruby to Emerald, and from then on up, it's going to look like just every other MLM that we've seen, where we start getting into less than 1%, right? Now, obviously, I haven't seen any numbers. That is just my guess. I'm not going to say that's exactly what it is, but I would be shocked if I was wrong. So we already went over rank advancement bonuses. Now they have starter pack bonuses, pays via enrollment tree, right? So remember the starter packs that we were looking at. So for all ambassadors, just off the gate, then people can get their packs for $50 for the regular basic. Starter pack is $87.50. Ultimate starter pack at $175. Now MTP, which is enhanced for MTPs, now that is 10/1/21 to 10/30 or 12/31/21. No longer a thing, right? So you can't really count on that. But it was $75 for the basic starter pack. Super pack is $131, and ultimate starter pack is $262.50. I don't really know why there's a mass difference there for that. I don't really understand it when they go right into level 2 enroller, where it's $8 for the starter pack, $14 for the super starter pack, and $28 for the ultimate, and even less for the level 3 enroller. I don't understand that, right? I don't know what that's about. I couldn't find anything to explain that to me, because in order to get more information, you got to sign up, and I'm not signing up just for the literature. I don't need those Huns reaching out to me saying, "Hey, so you've taken the chance to better your life," or whatever they would say. And then we have Leadership Generational, and this starts at Ruby, right? So Leadership Generational, basic starter pack at Ruby level, you get $15 for every basic starter pack, $35 at Emerald, $7 at Diamond, $5 at Blue Diamond, and $5 at Black Diamond. So you're already going to be making more money, I guess they're assuming, because of all these other things. Plus you're getting all these additional bonuses and stuff as well. And, you know, whatever. I don't really know why this is less here. It seems like you'd want to make that more, but whatevs. Super starter pack, you get $30 for selling a super starter pack, $70, you know, at the different levels there, Emerald and all that. So now let's go out of here, because these are all just one times, right? Lifestyle bonus. Now this does have 3 asterisks on it, so I'm going to look to see if I can find where that 3 asterisk is, so we can get a little bit of a more description as to what. Oh, right here. Global Infinity Leadership Pools. Okay, so when you reach the lifestyle bonus, so once you reach your Ruby, you're then enrolled into the Emerald pool, and 3% of the Diamond pool, and Blue Diamond pool, and Black Diamond pool. So it's probably 3% of the overall amount of money that's in those pools made by people in the company. Again, I can't confirm that because I have not been able to see that information. So I'm guessing at that. So lifestyle bonus starts at Ruby and goes up, obviously, from 300, 400, 600, 800 to 1,000. And retail customer bonus. So you get 20% customer bonus, which percent of purchase price. So this is your commission right here. Okay, this is your commission from the product sold. You get 20% of the commission that you get from the customers, and that's just as your active IBA. So if you're not doing anything else, you get 20% from this, and you get 10% of your preferred, and you get level 1 residual commissions. So cool. But if you notice, it doesn't get any better than 20%. It's 20% across the board. So your incentive to stay at this rank is a lot less. So then you move down to Coral, you can start getting your level 2, so you get an additional 10%. And when you get up to Jade, obviously then you get the 10% there, which you get 5% for your level 3, and so on all the way down, right? So, and that's where they tell you that the amount of money you earn could be infinite because the compensation plan allows for it. That's a quick look at Mfinity. This company is definitely one to pay attention to. This company is definitely one to avoid. Now, I know people say if you want to get started in MLM and you want to make the big bucks, you got to get in when it's early and when it's brand new, but this isn't brand new. This isn't early. This is a rebranded MLM, and I guarantee the top earners that were started from the beginning are still a part of the company and are still going to make the lion's share of the money on here. don't waste your time with these things. I mean, for real, right? Like, these things, it's very disgusting to me what these companies do to you. Because right there, as we saw, the starter pack cost for all this stuff is insane. And when you're trying to rank up with this, if you're not a top tier salesperson, you're probably not going to make it into the higher ranks. You are definitely going to have to rely on underselling and internal selling between you and your downline and buying, I guess, so that you can pad your numbers. Guys, these MLMs, and I say this at the ending of all of my videos, these MLMs try to flatline you financially. They feed you lies about what you can make. They feed you lies about how this is the best stuff on earth. I mean, just look at it like this. Black Oxygen Organics said that it was the gift from Mother Earth to people and that you had to have it, and now they've been shut down, right? So when they tell you that this stuff is the best stuff and it's so good for you, it's all natural, organic, just don't believe it. Do digging, do a little bit of research. Better yet, if you find a company you're questioning, shoot them over to me. Hit me up on the Twitter machine or hit me up on Instagram. I'm going to start being active on Instagram, or just leave a comment. And I'll look into it. We'll dive into it together. So, all right. Don't let them flatline you, these companies. Don't let them do it. And take it easy.
Snatch back your brain, zombie. Snatch it back and hold it.